Good morning. This lesson is for Wednesday, April 15th. And want to remind you of a couple things. I'm going to start my timer here because I don't want to go too long. I want to remind you that tomorrow, April 16th, you have a test. Okay, that test is overpriced over chapters 4, 5, and 6. We've done all the review. We've done everything you need to do. What you need to do is prepare. Okay, hopefully I would have released it already. I'm recording this over spring break. I would have released it already on Monday, the graph sheet. I need you to print that out and have it available for you for the test. The test is going to be in lock mode, which means you can't use your book. Okay, the test is going to be in lock mode for you. You need the graph to answer some questions. The graph will help you in a handful of questions. So you need to print it out. If that is a problem, you need to contact me as soon as you possibly can. Okay, so I can make arrangements for you, somehow get you the graphs that you're going to need. I want to take a look at my sheet real quick. That's what I needed to tell you in terms of update. So what I want to do is I want to share my screen with you really quick. Okay, and we're gonna do a little bit today. We're not gonna do a lot. And again, I gave you an assignment on Monday. I gave you an assignment on Tuesday. I'm going to give you a little bit of an assignment today. Everything is due on Thursday. You have a test on Thursday. Okay, the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday assignments are short. Answer a couple questions so that I know you're following along. Okay, and then a test on Thursday, all by 9 o'clock. All right, so please make sure you get that done. So let me share my screen with you a little bit here. And this is what we have. So we've gone from money, and we're going to slide over. Let me get rid of this here. We're going to slide over to banking. All right, money to banking. So we know money is anything accepted as a form of payment for a good or service. Then we talked about the qualities of money being limited in supply and portable and durable. Okay, there's others, acceptable. Okay. Then we talked about the functions of money. Money acts as a medium of exchange, allows you to buy goods or services. Money acts as a measure of value. Money puts it in terms that we can understand. Money acts as a store of value. The function of money is it's able to hold its value. If I showed you a $50 bill the one time, a $50 bill is a $50 bill, period. Here's what you need to remember. The purchasing power varies. There's nothing that holds its value like a piece of money does. Okay, if you find a bill from 1945, okay, that's when they stopped printing $500 bills, $1,000 bills, etc. We're going to skip over that part. That is just some history that we've done in the past. We don't need to do it. But if you found a bill from 1945, it spends today. If you found a $500 bill last printed in 1945, it spends like $500. Difference is it spends like $500 today. That's the purchasing power. And then the last thing is money. Excuse me. Money acts as a standard of deferred payment, which means we could, because we understand money and measure of value, we could offer you loans. And then we started talking a little bit about what they look for in loans, and we went through the 4 C's of credit, and we went through what makes up a credit score. A FICO score is probably the most common name. Fair Isaac Corporation, a FICO score. So now that we have money, we're going to talk about banks. Okay, and let's just go through. We're going to ignore this star. We're going to go through what is a bank. Here's my opinion, guys. Everybody needs to have some form of banking account, checking or savings. You need to keep your money somewhere, not at home, not in a drawer, so it needs to be in a bank. And we'll get into the reason why as we move through this whole entire lesson. But if you don't have a banking account, okay, that's a ding against your credit score when they start looking at it, because remember, they look at banking. And if you have nothing in the banking, they're gonna think, what are you doing? Okay. You need to have a banking account. Where you bank, 100% your choice. If I'm a betting person, I'm going to say you bank where your parents bank. That's how we all started off. So, what's a bank? It's real simple. Banks are institutions that accept a demand deposit and they make commercial loans. Okay, demand deposits are checking deposits. The bottom line, they accept deposits. Okay, they accept deposits and they make loans. You put your money in, they loan money out. Now, real quick, if you don't bank, then there's less money to be loaned out. And if we look at supply and demand, if there's less money, okay, I'm sorry, because it's looking, it's going in reverse. If there's less money, if I can get this right here, the interest rates are going to be higher. So we need the bank. Okay, you need to put your money in a bank. So you're like, why? Well, here's why. Or here's a function of a bank. They have these vaults. It's all cool, whatever. Here's what banks do. Huntington Bank, which is where I bank. I also bank at Medina County Credit Union. Huntington banks also, jumping ahead, at the Federal Reserve. They deposit money in the Federal Reserve. Your money's safe. Your money's protected. All of this other stuff. And they have these real cool vaults and all that other stuff. And we don't need to worry about that. Here's why you need to bank. Banks are insured. So if you ever saw this on your banking or on the door of your bank, FDIC, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. So real quick, what's insurance? Insurance is protection. We have health insurance to protect us financially from illness and that. We have life insurance. That's not trying to be morbid. It's not going to protect you from dying, but it's going to protect my family. Should and when I die, that they're going to have some money. Okay, we have auto insurance to protect you should you get in an accident. It's protecting you financially. It's not preventing anything from happening to you. You're still going to get sick. It's inevitable. We're still going to pass. Okay, car insurance. Hopefully nobody ever gets in a car accident, but we need to have it. Okay, it's required by law. Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC, insures your bank accounts. From what? Financial disaster. From what's going on, potentially, maybe right now. People go to the bank, they pull their money out. They panic. Businesses go bankrupt. They do all kinds of things. We just put out a stimulus package. Where are they getting the money? We share. Some of it's your money that we're using to stimulate the economy. Just know that your money's still there. It is insured and it is safe. And the safest place for it is a bank. You could have your own little fireproof box at home, but you cannot gain insurance on money that you keep locked up and if it burn up in a fire. There's no record of it. They have record of your home, they have record of your car, all of that. You could recoup some of that money. If I told them I had $10,000 in a box at home, they would say, that's awesome, John, but there's no proof. There's proof at a bank. Okay, so your accounts for a single account is insured up to $250,000. For a joint account, it's $500,000. So real quick difference between a single account and a joint account. My wife and I have a joint account, which is more than one name on an account. Okay, some of you might be in a joint account with your parents. At one point in time, they had to maybe sign off on an account, stuff like that. Some people will say, well, what happens if you have more than $500,000? First off, it's congratulations for having more than $500,000 in the bank. And secondly, some people think, well, maybe I'll just get different banks, etc. No, keep all your money together. If you have more than $500,000, you can purchase extra or additional FDIC insurance to protect your money. If you have $500,000, you can afford that insurance. So that's one function of the bank, is to keep your money safe. Your money is insured in a bank. It is not insured in your house. So obviously a bank is a place to save money. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you 4 different types of ways in which you can save money. The 2 most common ways that you know of, obviously, are savings accounts. The technical term in some banks are called passbook accounts. Okay, they're interest bearing. Then there's checking accounts. Some banks call them demand deposits. Checking accounts. Some checking accounts are interest bearing, some are not interest bearing. I'm going to make an assumption for a younger banker until you learn to manage your money, until they believe you learn to manage your money, your checking account's not going to be interest bearing, but your debit card's attached to your checking account. Savings accounts are interest bearing. Not a lot of interest, less than 1%. I'm taking a look here. Huntington is less than 1%. So your money's not working a lot for you, but it's insured. Your money's insured. And so we have those are the 2 main, that's what my wife and I have. We have savings accounts, we have checking accounts. Okay, it's money, it's safe, it's insured, etc. My checking account, I just put enough money in there to pay bills, keep my money in the savings account. Okay, now there's something called a money market account and a certificate of deposit. Other ways to save your money. Real quick description. A money market account is a checking account with restrictions. It's interest bearing, for one. Huntington, I had looked it up. Huntington offered 1% on a money market account, but you needed a minimum balance of $25,000, which means you can't go below that. Absurd to me. I don't have $25,000 just to keep in an account. I would imagine big, huge businesses maybe use money market accounts. I'm sure you could find one with a lower minimum balance, but you could have a lower interest rate as well. But money market accounts are another way to save your money. Certificate of deposits are savings accounts with restrictions. A savings account, a certificate of deposit, typically called a CD, is a savings account that has a time limit attached to it. If you're willing to put your money into a certificate of deposit, it will earn you more interest than putting in a normal savings account. Reason being, there are savings accounts that you could put in for 1 year, or I'm sorry, there are certificate deposits. You could put your money in for 1 year and earn about 0.7% interest, which is higher than what your savings account is. But if you withdraw your money early, there's a penalty. You could put it into a CD for up to 3 years for 1.1%, 5 years, just under 2%. And if you pull money out, there's a penalty. So why do banks offer CDs? It's because they take your money, and if they know your money's going to be tied up for a year, they do other things with it. They invest it. They make loans. They reward you by putting money away. Now, this is what I tell a lot of students, and we are going to have some form of graduation. You guys are going to graduate, and you're going to have a graduation party. And at your graduation party, people are going to give you money. That money's not for you to go out on some sort of summer trip, though, considering all our circumstances. I can see you wanting to take a summer trip. That money typically is designed for college. So let's say you don't have a lot of money set aside for spending money at college. If you could find a bank that has like a 3-month CD, you graduate in May, June, July, August. If you could find a bank that has a 3-month CD, it will give you a higher interest rate than your savings account. And if you're not willing to pull your money out, and take that penalty, or, what a good investment. You get it right as you're going to school. So let's say you have money set aside already. Let's say you have money saved up for the first semester. Put in a 6-month CD. Earn a little bit more money, and it keeps going. The penalty is a deterrent to stop you from withdrawing money. So you store your money. It's insured. They give you different options to save your money. Savings accounts, money market accounts, certificates of deposits are interest bearing. Checking accounts in general for the newer banker are not interest bearing. And obviously banks give loans, stuff like that. Banks offer safety deposit boxes. We have a safety deposit box. It is just a box that we pay for on a yearly basis, that we keep some important documents in that I don't want to lose. I don't want to misplace. I'll always know where they're at. If I pay off a car, the title to my car, copies or the original birth certificates of all my kids and stuff like that. When my kids, my daughter in particular, when they need something or when they pay off something, we just did this. She had paid off her car. She had the title. She needed she needed her title because they eventually traded it in, and I knew where it was. I said, okay, I'll get it the next day. I go to the bank, go in the box, I pull it out. It is just, and you keep maybe special items that you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose, but you're not really going to use. So I was fortunate enough when I was at the University of Akron, we played for the national championship as a junior. We lost, but we received these watches, these kind of gaudy watches that I would never wear. But I don't want to throw away. So, and I don't want to lose it. And so I put it in a safety deposit box. Why? I don't know. It's just a way to protect it. Okay. So I'm going to give you two more things and we're going to call it quits for today. Banks issue traveler's checks and money orders. Here's what you need to know. The difference between traveler's checks and money orders from a checking account, from a personal check, is that these are secure and they're guaranteed. If I paid you by money order, it is a 100% guarantee that if I gave you a money order for $100, that you're getting $100. If I paid you by personal check, it's not guaranteed. You're trusting me. You're saying, okay, I trust you, John, or I don't trust you, etc. That's why some businesses will not take personal checks. And I totally understand that, especially from somebody from out of state. How do you track them down and get your money back? So money orders are basically checks that are guaranteed. You pay the bank, or a cashier's check. You go to some store that offers cashier's checks, you pay them, and that whoever you go to receive that money order, it's guaranteed, no questions asked. Traveler's checks aren't very popular anymore because we all use debit cards and stuff like that. But it's a simple, easy way when one travels that they have some cash and it's insured. And if you would lose your traveler's checks, you could put stop payment on it and get your money back. If you're just carrying cash and you're traveling and you lose your cash, that's not guaranteed. And you lost your money. Banks issue credit cards. Typically, that's the best route to go, is through your bank to get a credit card. Banks will do a foreign currency exchange. They probably have some Canadian money on them, maybe some pesos on them as well. But if you're going overseas, you'll get your best exchange rate through a bank. Just, you got to give them heads up. And the last thing a bank typically does is, bigger banks, and I'm even sure smaller banks, they offer some sort of investing and consulting. What they'll do is, you're having a hard time balancing your checkbook, if you're trying to figure out what to do best with your money, there is somebody there. There is some person in the business world that probably studied finance that is there to help you. If you're looking to invest some money in the stock market, some consider it a buyer's market at the moment, some don't. But and you don't have a broker, maybe you can do it through the bank. They offer those types of services. So it's more than just a place to deposit your money. There's so many other things that they offer you. What we're going to do tomorrow is I'm going to click out of this. We're going to get into what banks actually are and what they do, and the different opportunities that exist, the difference between what's called a commercial bank and a thrift bank. I know you don't care. It's just I want to explain to you what the difference between a credit union is and Huntington. There is one major difference that I believe you should probably should know and should be aware of. So what you need to do now, there's no presentation. I'll probably do a little video presentation to get you ready for the test, let you know what you need to do that day. You remember, again, if you have not printed out your graph sheet, please do it. I hope things are well. Good luck on your test tomorrow, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.